Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another week of astrology. We're just going to go quickly into it. Lots of stuff I want to say, lots of things have come up for me that I'd like to share, but um, I don't know. Let's just stick to the astrology right now. I can't really find a good time to record this, or um, I kept running into obstacles, so we'll just do the best we can. Mercury in the anaretic degree, extreme, wrapping things up concerning the details right now. So, and Mercury's in the angle and Virgo rising. So, okay, for sure. But let's just go into the chart. So today we have Mercury going into Cancer, which is a big change of dynamic. Mercury has been in Gemini since the middle of May, going at various speeds, right? And now Mercury is going to be making, a continuously increasing speed as he goes through Cancer, right? So our thinking, our communication is much more oriented to nurture, to necessity, to what makes us feel comfortable, like the way we're thinking about things. The way we're thinking about things is going to, need to adjust itself to what makes us feel safe, right? So I expect that's the way our thinking is going to go. And of course, throughout the end of the day, today we have this opposition to Saturn with the moon and the square to Uranus. So, not exactly comfortable, but the moon in Leo, wanting to be bold, wanting to have fun, enjoy, etc. And coming up against Venus, or coming up to the conjunction of Venus and Mars, who are escaped of the opposition to Saturn. Sorry about that beeping sound. But, we're just going to try to do the thing. The moon coming up against them. I think I've lived through one of these in my career as astrologer. So, just saying, I don't really know what to say about what that means to have the moon right there on top of them as well. But, it reads pretty clearly as being, so to speak, a harmony of the sexes, and whatever that may entail on every context and whatever house you have that in. For me, that's in my 11th house. So, probably, people will be wanting to party, wanting to have fun, wanting to connect and enjoy, and maybe make, if this is kind of like coming up against the restrictions of Saturn and Aquarius, right? So people, the moon, we're going to want to enjoy commingling, kind of outside or past the restrictions. Maybe this is like, the way we are imagining that life can get back to normal too, in a way. But it lasts for a moment. So I think it's a good dream. I don't really see Neptune there, other than the sun is trine Neptune. So it is this moment of dreaminess and perhaps extreme spending, or spending being under this very idyllic environment, right? It looks like going to like a water park or something to me. If I could get all my friends to go to the water park, we would. I might. But that's kind of what it looks like coming up, right? And I say all that to say that that's the main thing we have. The moon is really kind of dealing with all these themes. We kind of have this reprieve on Tuesday, in a way, where we kind of do this more mercurial stuff, right? And this more Jupiter stuff. Mercury and Jupiter are doing this thing, and the moon kind of comes in to pick up on that. Through Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, let's just go to the chart wheel. So starting on Monday, I guess. Today looks like it's, we're not going to talk about today. We'll talk about Monday. So Monday, the 12th, begins, with the moon leaving. Wait. Okay. So, the moon will have made the conjunction to Venus and Mars in the morning here and be void of course off of them. So it's very much going to be a day colored by these feelings. And the moon when they pass. Oh, so the whole day the moon is void of course off of that. So I mean it. It kind of to me looks like you're at the water park, but you're a little too sunburned. You're a little too dehydrated. They don't quite have the kind of ice cream you want. And it's just you're at the fun place, but it's kind of like the day is dragging on. Could be, or it's just somehow not to the T of what we would like it to be. Right, so as we go into Tuesday, the moon will immediately make the opposition to Jupiter retrograde. And if I can interject my personal business here, Jupiter retrograde has been good, really amazing for me. The way things that have come up in my 6th house there, the way I've been able to open up my time to do different things is really consolidating in tangible ways, ways that my time will be more open, expanded. I have all these Jupiterian style things about the way that I can do things every day. It's very good. I really have liked Jupiter retrograde. I hope that's good for whatever Jupiter's doing in your chart. I know Jupiter retrograde can be problematic because a planet not being direct, not moving forward with the house theme can signify a reformation, or it's not going to we're not going to move forward with that house theme quite as much, right? But yeah, Jupiter's like my house cusps are like at the 22nd degree, so right, my 6th house cusp, Jupiter's going back, so I really like that. Anyway, so as we get into Tuesday, the moon goes into Virgo, makes opposition to Jupiter retrograde, and makes the sextile to Mercury, and then Venus and Mars have the conjunction, and then the moon goes through the T-square, right? So, to me, it looks like, honestly, this week has confused me a lot. Mercury, so this moon in Virgo is ruled by Cancer, right? So it's ruled, so there's a moon Mercury mutual reception, which is just fantastic. I really like that, and they're in a sextile, so this looks really auspicious for Mercury, moon, Venus there as well. It just looks really good in many respects because of the mitigating condition. It's a pretty decent situation, and the mitigating condition is strong. So I expect that'll be pretty nice. Yeah, I mean, when the moon goes into Libra on Thursday, I think we'll kind of, the more manifest qualities of Mercury conjoin Mars are going to show up, and maybe, we kind of have more difficulty with the mercurial side of things, or we have to adjust our thinking. We have to change the way we see things now, the way we're thinking about things, or the way we want to be socially correct about things, or make sure both sides get weighed out. It's we have to really come up against a challenge around discussing all of that stuff. But we're getting ahead. So so there is this sort of critical situation around what the North and the South Node are doing in your chart still. They're still doing something there, even though with the eclipse, we had the culmination of what that was going to be for this cycle in those signs too. The eclipses will be in different signs on the next round this year. But I really like it because I think we can really get things organized with all of that, and get things organized with everything else with such a strong mitigating factor. Moon is in Mercury's house. Mercury's in Moon's house. They receive and they mitigate a lot of their challenges that way. So the Moon will apply the trine to Uranus on Wednesday morning, I think, Wednesday morning, and be applying the sextile to the Sun. I really like this because the Moon is strong. The Moon can figure all this stuff out. Like, we're emotionally on the right page with the way we want to interface, and that is really what's driving all of this, driving this organizational approach, driving this I guess sixth house sort of approach to things, order in what applies to ordinary regular stuff, right? And even though we're coming up to this connection to the outer planets, I think I don't know exactly what to say about that. The new moon opposing Pluto was pretty, not fun, so to speak. And, the nostalgia factor from Neptune with the trine is always turned up to 11 with the Cancer moon, for sure, right? But with the moon in Virgo, I wonder how that'll be now that Mercury is in Cancer. I just think we're going to have a way better way to deal with all that. Like, just assuming that you pretty much already know what Pluto and Neptune are about. But, by the end of the day, the Moon will make the sextile to the Sun opposition. So we have this very interesting shape forming. So all of the Sun, the luminaries, and the outer planets really, really have a lot of sway in this situation. We're really talking about all of them here. Maybe we're dealing with these issues of power that we've needed to connect to for some time with a good light. But yeah, we're definitely going to see that come up again. And the Sun is opposing Pluto there. So I want to say that it's good, but I'd rather say that it's very much going on, or the energy flow is very strong with these themes at this time, for better or worse. And I think you'd want to avoid being in a situation where your substance could go through a power situation, which would be inadvisable this week with the Sun opposing Pluto. But the Sun, our substance, what we what lights things up in our lives, has to oppose this Pluto, this Hades, this that's really what it is. There has to be an opposition, and there's probably more light on Pluto there than we'd like there to be, especially with the Moon reflecting it too. So there's more seeing that with this closer alignment with the Sun, I think. So I don't know. I don't really know about Wednesday. It's a lot of different moods, but the light is building up. Um, we didn't mention it, but with this strong trine in the morning to Uranus there, the moon will have the opportunity to do something innovative, do a critical, innovative situation. I mean, that looks really good for if you want to do something like that, somehow related to this world of digital technology and so on, relative to values and so on. You can probably do that really well with a strong moon Mercury thing, trining that. And the thing is Venus is really close to Mars, so be aware of that because if Venus has just moved through Mars, we can expect that in some way things got consumed, things got eaten up, right? So kind of maybe dealing with the aftermath of that. Maybe it was like kind of an extreme sort of taking or consuming, but and then there's an opportunity, right? So be looking out for it because I mean Mercury is not afflicted, the moon is not afflicted, except for this coming up, right? So I mean it could get kind of dreamy after that, or oceanic sort of expression of things could come in very fast. But anyway, we'll move on from Wednesday there. All right, so the sun will perfect the trine to Neptune on Thursday as the moon moves into Libra. And then the moon will be applying the square to Mercury all day. Now this is a bit of an easier read than that. So we're going to lose some of this good Mercury energy or good mutual reception with Mercury. And now, like maybe we've been like really tapped into like being emotionally right, or being like our thinking and our emoting, communicating was all very like in order and like organized. I don't know, something like that. But once we come to this place, it's more more social, more having to see maybe another side than we wanted to, right? And we kind of have to hash that out, or otherwise. So we got the moon ruled by Venus now. We've got Mercury ruled by the moon still. So the moon actually has a superior position here, and can kind of, I think, maybe trounce on what Mercury is saying here a little bit, or the Mercury has to kind of submit to what the moon is on about. Being ruled by Venus, more about society, socializing, But as we get into the end of the day, we do have this trine to Saturn building up towards the morning, so maybe things get a little hectic socially or interfacing wise, and they kind of come to a cool close, sort of by the evening that is ultimately related to where we're going. I like to see this big grand trine here in a way. Sort of. I mean, it's not really dignified, so it is a big energy flow with Saturn. So I mean, things are very, cooling off, coming to a close by the evening. But so we got the sun ruled by the moon, right? The sun is also ruled by the moon, and the sun is in a trine to Neptune, who's ruled by Jupiter retrograde. That's not bad. And the Mars there is ruled by the sun. So the sun, and then, or the moon, then the sun, and then Mars. So Venus is really calling the shots here, really running the show. or running a socialite event, something like that. It's what it looks like. But as we get into Friday, there's nothing really going on Friday. On, aspect level, we're moving out of the trine to Saturn. And then the moon is just in Libra, ruled by Venus, making a trine to Venus. So this looks fun. It looks fun, but, don't do anything super dangerous, because, the trine square to Pluto, very serious, very oriented to power. And the sun, this is the first quarter square to the sun. Venus is, in a good place with the moon now. Now we're not so much having difficulty communicating or interfacing, but, there is this standoff between your personal energies and the powers that be, basically. So, it is not fun, and the moon is kind of on maybe seeing both sides of that. Maybe that's not you, but you're witnessing it. Maybe we're in like a crowd. We're in an audience, and we're watching them. But it is very much fun, enjoyable, oriented to this Mars. Like Venus and Mars being so close to each other with all this going on makes me think that there is this element of doing something hard because that's what we have the drive to do. Doing something energetic because that's what we're on about during this time, relative to the way we're enjoying things, the way we're socializing, and so on. So overall, that's what I think, but I don't like to see the moon in a T-square with Pluto and the sun. So that is the first quarter square, which actually goes perfect on Saturday. But so Friday... what is Friday even about? The moon will be moving into this sextile with Venus. So, it looks nice. It looks like a nice day overall. But, as we get into the early hours of Sunday or Saturday, the moon will have to go through the first quarter square to the sun and then make the square to Pluto. And then be void of course, or you could consider them void of course after Venus perfected the sextile to the moon, or vice versa. So, in the middle of the day at 13:38, the moon will move into Scorpio and then make the trine to Jupiter while the sun perfects the opposition to Pluto. I don't really like much of that. The trine to Jupiter makes me think that there is still, this isn't entirely the worst situation, but... it's got a lot of the worst situation sort of elements in it. So I feel like we're gonna feel called back to 2020 times because of the strong activation of Pluto that was there. It's really gonna be in the light on that day, and it'll very much be the moon will be in fall. So the moon's been enjoying relatively good dignity all week, so it's gonna be a pretty hard shift, I think, into Saturday. At least the way things are showing up on a mundane level, just not really fun. So I don't know. I guess that's Saturday. That's really all I see coming up. It's like different. You just see different faces of it as we go through it. But, it is... So, let's think about it this way. So, it's ruled by Mars, right? And Mars is in the sun's house, who's in the moon's house. So, we have the moon ruling the sun, ruling Mars, ruling the moon. So, we actually have this cycle. I guess we could pull that up. Let's look at that. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So the moon still is ruling Mercury, of course, Saturn's not even in this picture of disposition still, which has been a great thing for months now. But we have this nice mitigating condition here. So I really like that. The moon is in Mars's house, Mars is in the sun's house, and the sun is in the moon's house. So, while I do think we're going to feel oversensitive about this, because you could consider that the sun is opposing the ruler of Scorpio, you could consider that. And look at Jupiter. Jupiter's in the very last degree of Pisces. It's really a drawback to that time that Jupiter went into Pisces. But I think we can find the hope. We can find the the ability to look forward at the future and see not rosy, but seeing the limits of the good, right? We're seeing where the good will be. We know that things will be bad. It's kind of like feeling that on Saturday. We know that things will not be fun. But there's an order to things beyond what we can understand, right? Praise God. And I think we can really pick up on that on that day. So, as we get into Sunday, Moon trine Mercury, while we still have this mitigating thing going on. So that looks good. I really like that. I really like that a lot, actually, because we'll be able to really talk about how this actually feels, right? Even though we might not want to, in a way, we are going to be able to somehow really get tapped into this Mercury thing in a way that I don't think is too afflicted. I don't think it's very much, not too badly. But, the moon will be afflicted on Sunday when they go through the square to Saturn and the opposition to Uranus. So, what is that like? Well, it looks to me like it's fear relative to, these unexpected things that have come out of Uranus and Taurus in your chart, no doubt, because I know it's very unexpected. It's uprooting. It's changed the way that you, so to say, okay, here's the thing with the Mars square Uranus thing that we're kind of dealing with the aftershock of at this point, right? It's like, you can get that drive and break away from things, or like you get an unexpected opportunity and it totally changes the way that you're going to live your life. And it's like, wow, that's kind of stressful, honestly. That's kind of like more problems than I had before. Or different problems, and Saturn isn't like that. So, it's a challenging situation to find yourself in. I think we're coming to grips, I think, with Saturn in a way here, and with Uranus. Do your best on Sunday to Saturn is really interested, in like what we do every day that fits the needs of life, or the minimum, or what's required of us, our duty. And it's very intense with the retrograde. So, we that this Uranus stuff is going to keep showing up in your chart, right? We had a big moment of it with the Mars thing, but we come to grips with the restrictions on Sunday. So, But overall, I kind of like it because, I mean, we have this sense of mitigation kind of going on all week with the moon. So I like it. It looks good. It looks bad. It looks good. And then, next week, looks like we have a lot of different stuff goes on next week. Like Venus goes into Virgo. The sun goes into Leo. Mercury trine Neptune. So, we'll talk about that when it comes to it. Mercury opposed Pluto too. So we'll come to that. Let me see if there's anything we really missed. We didn't really talk about this Mercury trine Jupiter thing. I think that's great. I think that's really great for your business. That's really great for moving ahead and really Cancer is also about fear, right? It's about not that if you're a Christian, God doesn't give you the spirit of fear. He gives you peace and a sound mind, wisdom. But Cancer itself is about our instinctive protective drive, right? And that is something we're going to be able to very mercurially tap into. We're going to really be able to meld sort of with that, and I think that can be really good for your business and expanding things, and kind of look at when Jupiter goes back into Aquarius, right? I think people are going to be valuing things differently, right? And I know that's more like a Venus function, and the way people are valuing things is going to change and become more organized and detail oriented, and the two keywords we use for Virgo. But I think with Mercury trining Jupiter there on Tuesday, Monday afternoon, I think your business can be really tapped into that. So be looking out for that, and I hope you have a great week. I hope this is going well for you. Things are going well for me actually, but it is kind of destabilizing. If you get what you want from Uranus and Taurus, that could be destabilizing in a way, in a good way. I think in a way that can be. It's it's out of the bounds of Saturn for sure. But it's kind of out on the frontier is really where the fun is at, right? So anyway, I hope this week is good for you, and God bless you. I hope God will bless us with all wisdom and knowledge and understanding of His will, and He will give us access into these mysteries by His holy name, Jesus Christ. So I thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.